Thanksgiving weekend 1989. The small town of Acme, Washington, population just a few hundred, is wrapped in the quiet calm of the holidays. Families are gathered inside warm homes, preparing leftovers, laughing over old stories. But somewhere along a narrow rural road lined with fir trees and frost, a young woman is running for the last time. Her name is Amanda Mandy Stavik, 18 years old, home from college. Smart, athletic, beautiful, loved by everyone who knew her. She sets out for a quick jog with her dog, a routine run she's done countless times before. The kind of simple moment that defines small town life, safe, peaceful, ordinary. But this run will end in tragedy. Hours later, her dog returns home, wet, panting, anxious. But Mandy is gone. Her disappearance will shake this community to its core. And when her body is found 3 days later, the shocking truth will ignite one of Washington's longest and most unforgettable murder mysteries. This is Mandy Stavik, the case no one can forget. If stories like this move you, if you believe that every voice deserves justice, take a moment to subscribe and join us. Every week, we uncover the hidden stories that the world should never forget. Amanda Stavik, known simply as Mandy, was born in April 1971. She grew up in Acme, a small, tight-knit town surrounded by evergreen forests and mountain air. She was a middle child in a loving family, known for her laughter, energy, and kindness. Mandy wasn't just popular, she was exceptional. She played basketball, ran track, joined the school band, and cheered for her team. She even learned sign language in Japanese, a reflection of her curiosity and intelligence. Friends remember her as radiant, a girl who could walk into any room and instantly lift the mood. In 1989, she graduated from Mount Baker High School and enrolled at Central Washington University. She was majoring in education, dreaming of becoming a teacher. And that Thanksgiving, she returned home from college, excited to spend time with her family, catch up with friends, and enjoy the comfort of home. No one could have known that this would be her last holiday. Friday, November 24th, 1989, the day after Thanksgiving. It's cold, around 40 degrees. The roads are slick with moisture from the river air. Mandy decides to go for her usual jog along Strand Road, just outside her home. She's wearing green sweatpants, a white sweatshirt, and blue running shoes. Her German shepherd, Kyra, runs alongside her, loyal, protective, always by her side. Around 2:30 p.m., she leaves the house. It's the last time her mother sees her alive. By 3:30, Kyra returns alone, wet, panting, distressed. Mary, Mandy's mother, feels the first pang of dread. Maybe Mandy stopped by a friend's house. Maybe she took a different route. But as evening sets in and the sky darkens, panic begins to take hold. Mary calls neighbors, friends, anyone who might have seen her daughter. Soon, dozens of volunteers join the search. They walk the ditches, drive the winding back roads, call her name through the mist, but the night gives them nothing. The next morning, searchers find a piece of green clothing near the roadside. Sweatpants. Mandy's. 2 days later, a fisherman spots something floating downstream in the Nooksack River. It's her body. The discovery is devastating. She's partially clothed, still wearing her socks and shoes. The autopsy confirms what no one wanted to believe. Mandy had been sexually assaulted and drowned. From the start, detectives know this isn't random. The area is isolated. Few people travel this stretch of road. Whoever did this had to know where Mandy lived, where she ran, and when she'd be alone. The Whatcom County Sheriff's Office launches a full-scale investigation. Detectives collect every piece of evidence: her clothes, the river debris, and biological material that might identify the killer. But this is 1989. DNA testing is new, expensive, unreliable, and often inconclusive. Still, investigators take samples, hoping the future might catch up. They begin questioning locals, anyone who might have crossed paths with Mandy that day. Friends, neighbors, even family members. Dozens of leads pour in. Men are interviewed, alibis checked, rumors chased down. Some suspect a stranger passing through. Others whisper about someone local. But as weeks turn to months and months to years, every lead dries up. The case goes cold. For Mandy's mother, Mary, every Thanksgiving becomes a cruel reminder of the daughter she lost. Year after year, she calls the sheriff's office, always asking the same question: Have you found him yet? And the answer is always the same: Not yet. For nearly 3 decades, the file labeled Stavik, Amanda, homicide sits in storage. Detectives retire, new ones take their place, but the mystery never fades. Then, in 2013, a new team of investigators revisits the evidence. Technology has evolved. DNA can now identify a person with pinpoint precision. They retest the biological samples from Mandy's case, and this time they get a clean, complete profile of the killer. But there's a problem. The DNA doesn't match anyone in the national database. That means one thing: the man who killed Mandy has never been arrested for a crime involving DNA collection. So detectives start over. They review every name from 1989. Every man who lived near Mandy. Every neighbor. Every delivery driver, student, or acquaintance. And one name keeps coming up: Timothy Bass. In 1989, Timothy Bass was a 22-year-old man living less than a mile from Mandy's home. He was married, worked locally, and by all accounts, kept to himself. At the time, he wasn't considered a major suspect. No criminal record, no obvious motive. But something about his proximity to the scene doesn't sit right with investigators. When they question him decades later, Bass is calm, polite, but strangely detached. He insists he never even knew Mandy, never spoke to her, and certainly never heard her. But his story doesn't match up with things others remember. He had once mentioned watching Mandy at her high school basketball games, and neighbors recall seeing him drive along the same route she jogged. Detectives need his DNA, but Bass refuses to give a sample voluntarily. That's when they decide to get creative. By 2017, Bass is working as a delivery driver at a local bakery. Detectives reach out to one of his coworkers, a woman who's followed Mandy's case for years. She knows Bass, chats with him daily, and she's deeply disturbed when she learns he's a suspect. Weeks go by, and one day, Bass finishes drinking a Coke at work and tosses it into the trash. Moments later, the woman quietly picks it up, places it in a plastic bag, and hands it to police along with a used plastic cup. Inside those items is the truth that's been buried for 28 years. When the lab results come back, the DNA from the Coke can and cup are a match to the DNA found on Mandy Stavik's body. A perfect, undeniable match. After nearly 3 decades of silence, the name behind the crime is finally revealed. In December 2017, Bass is arrested and charged with the kidnapping, rape, and murder of Mandy Stavik. When police confront him with the DNA evidence, his demeanor changes instantly. He offers a new story, claiming he and Mandy had a secret relationship, that the encounter was consensual, but no one who knew Mandy believes it. She was careful, private, and there was never a single sign of connection between them. At trial in 2019, prosecutors present the DNA match, the timeline, and Bass's repeated lies. His defense argues the DNA was obtained improperly, that his coworker had no right to give police the can. But the jury doesn't buy it. They deliberate for less than a day. Verdict: guilty of first-degree murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree rape. The courtroom is silent as the verdict is read. After 29 years, justice has finally arrived. Bass is sentenced to 27 years in prison, the maximum allowed. For Mandy's family, it's a moment of bittersweet relief. Justice, but not peace. The case of Mandy Stavik is more than a story of tragedy. It's a story of persistence, of detectives who refuse to give up, of science that caught up with justice, and of a community that never stopped caring. One coworker's quiet act of courage solved what decades of investigation could not. One discarded Coke can brought a murderer to justice. And through it all, Mandy's mother, Mary, never stopped believing the truth would surface. Every year, she kept her daughter's photo by the window. Every year, she hoped the knock on the door would finally bring answers. That hope became reality 29 years later. Today, Mandy's story serves as a reminder No case is too old, no secret too buried. And sometimes, even after decades of darkness, the truth finds a way to rise. This is Mandy Stavik, the case no one can forget.